Yeah, we're live. Fuck it, exactly. We're doing it live. Okay, so my mic's live. I'm gonna make your guys' mic's live, which is not correct English, but I don't care. I don't care about anything because it's Sunday morning, and Sunday morning means Art of Rock. That's right. Segway-arama, it's Art of Rock. And I don't care who's texting me right now because you are the most important thing in my world. Welcome to Art of Rock. We do this every Sunday. And we talk about rock and roll and about how we're going to keep making rock and roll and about the challenges and hardships of rock and roll. Or cyberpunk or painting or whatever it is you do. Just keep doing it. This is made possible by the amazing human beings. So firstly, every Sunday, that's how together I am right now. Every Sunday here, join us on Twitch or be like Rob and join us on the YouTube. Good to see you, Rob. Jump in. Oh, he's driving, so he's not going to drop in. This is made possible by Angelspit. So every Sunday here, yes, I am coherent. On Angelspit's Twitch, this is made possible with Angelspit's Patreon, many of whom members are here. That's not correct English. I don't care. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for making this happen and keeping me going. And I'm going to keep you going, and we're keeping each other going, and we're building the best bloody we're building the best community here, and it really, sincerely, this is really good. Big news, Angelspit's new album, Diesel Priest, is go, and I am shipping out orders now. I've put this up so you can't see the mess. There are a bunch of orders going out, and the digitals are going out, and I think hey, look, I'm wearing the shirt. Woo! Thank you. You're bloody awesome. You're bloody awesome. I put my fucking soul into this album, and I think it's good. The lyrics are pretty scathing, so I'm very happy. And I want to thank the people on Patreon who I've been demoing the tracks to them over the last 18 months, and they've been telling me that it's good or so you guys rock. And Patreon members, you got a free copy. Check your email for the download link, and if there's a problem with that download link, let me goddamn know. On the subject of free shit for Angelspit's Patreon, kickstarting right now is Glassjar. This is totally different. It's a 70s sci-fi epic thing, and it's epic in 70s and sci-fi. Patreon members are also getting a free copy of it and the audio soundtrack. It's coming out on vinyl, and it's just madness. I'm so proud of Glassjar. It's totally different. And if you want to hear more totally different stuff, listen to Angelspit's Patreon, because we're now doing hard, distorted mayhem. And I wanted to ask you guys about that. If you listen to the first track, I dropped it on the other day, about a week ago. I wanted to get your feedback. Not right now, though, because it's a whole bunch of old school samples going through distortion pedals, and it's very, 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 very terrifying. Speaking of terrifying, and if you want more terror in your life, here is a Spotify list of bands, many of whom are here, and you need to know about these bands. So click on that playlist and add those bands to your stuff that I'm always listening to on Spotify, because you need to know about it. Other stuff you need to know about is Eric's new album is out. Actually, it's an EP, but it's worth being called an album because it's fantastic, and Eric's not here right now. Check that out because it's bloody awesome. And if you want 24-hour non-stop awesome, you need MTV TV. And after we've done here, we're going to stream over to MTV TV because it's a whole bunch of fuck yeah. And everything's just fantastic. And while you're enjoying MTV TV, remember that they have a Patreon, because keeping a 24-hour non-stop dark wave music thing going, streaming, is not cheap. So join them on the Patreon, help it keep it going. And if you've got music, send it to MTV. If you've got a video, send it to them and they will play it, because these people are amazing. Okay. Welcome to the Art of Rock. I'm going to turn you guys, your mics are live. So today we're doing something a little bit different. If I can find the damn link. I'm going to send you the link and I'm going to put it in the chat so you guys can follow us. Hold on, it's coming and you're going to love this. Right. Boom. Today, we are talking about release schedules. P.D. John's not here as well. Anyway, release schedules. Because I've been talking about it, a lot of questions have come up about release schedules, about, what's the timeline? Why isn't Eric here? It doesn't matter. So we're going to cover this today, and we're going to go through all of this. Then after we've done this might only take half an hour. We'll talk about something else. So if you're looking at it, I want you to pull it up. I would share it, but unfortunately I can't share on Zoom because OBS has got a really weird glitch in it. As soon as I share on Zoom, OBS goes, nah, not doing it. Maybe it's mine, I don't know. So the way this thing works, did I actually post it in here? Hold on a minute. I've got to make sure I posted it. Yep, there it is. I just posted it. So everybody watching this live right now, click on that Google Drive link, and you will see the rollout. And the rollout is really, really? That's it? Yeah, that's it. Hold on. Yep, that's it. No, that's not it, Carl, you idiot. Hold on. Total professional here. Now I'm looking at it. Okay, so here is the release timeline, and I want to go through with this from the top. There's a lot of really cool things about it, and one really cool thing about it is that you're going to see immediately where problems lie. For example, for the demonstration of this one, I said January 1st because, you know, January 1st. But it's interesting that it said, well, if you're going to do it on January 1st, which is a terrible idea, one, everyone's going to be hungover, and two, all of this stuff is happening around Christmas Day. No one cares. From about the 20th of December through to January 5th, the world does not exist. But anyway, for the sake of, and I can change that. Hopefully, I can do that. Hold on. What if I said March 1st? No, that's January 1st because I'm set in England. March 1st. Manga 2021. God, it's amazing. I suck. Okay, we're going to do all of that from the head because I don't know. I've got a shortcut cut into my thing and I went out. I'm just going to do this again from the head because I have a shortcut on my keyboard that says mute the mics and I typed that damn shortcut. Okay, I suck. So, welcome back. We're going to try. This is take 2. So what we're looking at here is the release timetable. Right, Desiree? Right, so we're going for the 1st of March. And 65 days out, you need to get the tracks to the remixes. The remixes are going to take about a month to get that together. 60 days out, you're going to do the photo shoot. And it's going to be amazing. And you're also going to be doing the video shoot from about 60 days out. And the video shoot is, as I said, it's like, hey, I'm doing this new EP or album. Jump on it, check it out. It's going to be amazing. It's more of a promotional video shoot as opposed to a music video shoot. I didn't really factor that one in this because music videos are, I don't know what that is, go away. Music videos are terrifying to me, to you, and to all people. They're just terrifying. I'm going to keep my eye on my mics because I'm having one of those excellent days. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is that a week later, so you've completed the script, you have a week to shoot that promotional video. Promotional videos do help. Believe me, they help. It could even be the cover jumping around. Keep it fun, keep it light, keep it entertaining, because ultimately you're an entertainer and you're not an infomercial thing, which is something I do a lot, and I apologize. As I forget it, I don't have the energy to do that joke right now. Okay, so you've taken the photo and it's gone to the graphics. That might even be you. The next thing up is the ISRC numbers, and each track gets its own ISRC numbers. If you don't have ISRC numbers, Patreon members, email me and I'll give you some. You also need an EAN or a barcode. DistroKid will supply you with that barcode, so you might save yourself $1 or $5 or however much barcodes are, and when you go to DistroKid or AWOL, you get your barcode. I personally like to do it. I like supplying my own barcodes because I can keep a track of it, and also you need to have an Excel sheet or a spreadsheet that's tracking all of your ISRC numbers. It's tracking the catalog numbers of each release, and it's tracking the EAN barcode numbers. Hold on. I'm just going to add here and cat number. Because that stuff's important. Like, it's really boring, but it's important. If you don't know what the ISRCs are for tracks or the barcodes are for or for albums, you need to know that shit. Okay. Then you're going to have the cover art finished. This is 45 days out. The cover art will be done. And you'll notice there's some time built into this because people are always late. Is this shit really boring? No? Okay, good. Great. And if you want to comment on this and say, man, I don't know about that, let's change that a bit. Or maybe we could do that later. I don't know. You need to be finalizing the social media headers. This is important. 40 days out. So you have to get the Bandcamp, the Facebook, the Instagram, whatever the headers are, coming soon. That's got to be 40 days out. Another thing you need to do is you need to get your t-shirt designed to the printers. That's going to include the merch numbers because it's going to take at least a month rollout for most printers during this time of pandemic for them to get stuff completed to you and shipped back to you. At least a month. I actually think it's better to print a t-shirt than it is to print a physical because you'll sell t-shirts. But I wouldn't be doing one for every single one. Like, it's really good to have a new t-shirt every 4-6 months. And I'm just going to stop for a minute. I was invited, AWOL, who's my digital agitator, like DistroKid or The Orchard. They did a thing this week, and they were talking about timelines and everything for releases. And they came up saying you have to have stuff to the agitator by a month. It must be a month because a competent agitator doesn't just send it to iTunes and Spotify. They also, there's all these little boxes they tick as far as playlist submission and all of this stuff that they're going to get it out there. And DistroKid do that. But the problem with DistroKid is that DistroKid can have stuff online in a week. To get it, to drench this. You know how I'm always talking about dropping the stone in the pond and the amount of time it takes for the ripples to get to the corner of the pond? You need a month. AWOL will not, they won't do anything shorter than a month. They could have it live in a week, but they won't, because in order to do this correctly, it must be a month. But we're going to hit that again in a moment. Remember, if you do t-shirts, you're going to need sizes. If you've got questions about sizes, email me and I'll fill you in. I did a blipvert on merch sizes, and in that I gave examples of what your sizes, you know, this many medium, this many large, this many extra large, what they should be, just as a pointer. It's kind of a can't really go wrong. So, yeah, 40 days out, you're getting your T-shirts to merch. And also 40 days out, you're receiving remixes. Okay, now this is really interesting because in the past I've always said, oh, you have to master. You've got to master your remixes. You've got to get them professionally mastered. And I stand by that. But this is really interesting because there's a problem, and that is that if you get someone who's very cost effective and may charge $40 per remix, and you have 10 tracks on your album, that's $400. And in the real world, not too many singles or albums are going to be yielding $400. So if you have a competent way, like for example, you might say to the remixers, if they're competent at mastering, you might say master it yourself. And it sort of really sucks that I say that, but I've been doing some maths, and for like smaller bands who want to break even, and I can't tell you enough how important mastering is, and to get a professional to master it. The reality of the situation is that might not be economically viable. So if it's not, get the artist to do it themselves. And the thing you have to remember is that different artists are going to do different amounts of mastering. Some smash the crap out of it. They absolutely brick wall of it. Others don't. I'm kind of in the middle. Yeah. So anyway, your remixes are coming back approximately, where am I? About 40 days out. Then on the 39th day out, those tracks go to mastering. If you're doing a single and a B-side, definitely get them professionally mastered. If there are standout remixes, get them professionally mastered as well. Everything else, maybe get the artist to do it. I'm just being really honest here. This sucks. I hate honesty. It's such a lonely word because everyone is so untrue. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Grim. Wow, Vince didn't. I thought Vince would respond to that, but he didn't. Obviously, you don't like Billy Joel, so you're not cool. Thank you. Okay, so then you're sending your tracks to the master. I've given it... How long did I give the masters back? Hold on. Yeah, about 10 days. These are days, not working days, not business days, 10 days. If I'm doing an album and I send it to Dave Walker in Australia, I give him a month because he's the fucking best. And quite often when something comes back, I'll make some comments. He'll send it back, do it again, and then once he's done it, he also does the instrumentals because I do the album tracks and the instrumentals just cause. But that's me. Anyway, all of this stuff you're going to figure out. This is why this document, you're going to take it, you're going to download it, and you're going to tweak it a bit. Because wherever you're at in your career, these numbers might not work for you. The press release. Oh my God. Where the fuck is Eric? The press release is really important. And by 35 days out, your press release is done. You have a short version, that's a Twitter version, that's possibly a version that you will drop on Twitter. You will have a long version. Long versions are great when you put a quote in it, an artist quote going, this is the coolest album I've ever worked on because I rode a unicorn during this album. Yeah, do that. Long version and short version are very important, just do it. Having your lyric documents, you need your lyrics finalized. The lyrics must appear exactly as they are. They must be spell checked and capitalized correctly. Because when you submit these damn things to your agitator, that is AWOL or DistroKid, you need all that stuff in place. Because Apple Music is the hugest pain in the ass in the galaxy to deal with. And if you have anything wrong with Apple Music, like... oh, the image is too pixelated. But it's supposed to be pixelated. Or, I didn't capitalize this word in the lyric. They're going to get shitty at you and they'll throw it back. So you have to have everything spot on. And if you use naughty words in your lyrics, those naughty words must appear there. Don't write F///. You write the full word, which is fire. So, finalize the album and the credits for the miscellaneous content. So as far as the digital booklet goes, I'm sorry if I'm boring you, 35 days out, that is set and ready to rock. The digital booklet is included, and if you're putting backer names from Kickstarter or amazing Patreon people, make sure their names are already in there 30 days out, because also on 30 days, you upload this thing to DistroKid and AWOL or whoever your digital agitator is, because they need 30 days. And we're going to get to that in a minute. Where would we be without that drug? Let me tell you, I know. So, we're now at 30 days, T-minus 30 days. And you have sent it to, I was about to say AstroKid, AWOL or DistroKid or whoever your agitator is. This is so fucking important, and we're going to get to this in a moment. Now, Damage has got a note here. This is one of Damage's version of this is really good. Like, it goes into the nitty-gritty, and I just didn't do it because it's like, I don't know if people want to read that right now. If you're going to be putting it on Spotify, you know what? Actually, I know what he's talking about there, and I don't need to have it because I've already done it. If you're going to have a release day event, set it up now. Use the album artwork and everything else that you have now, because it's really important. That's 30 days out. Also, you might want to research Spotify Ad Studio and Boost.com. These are people who are, or companies that are going to push your music to people to get clicks. I found that the click cost rate is about 50 cents per click. So for $250, you're going to hit about 450 people. I think that's fucking ridiculously expensive myself. I think that's horribly expensive. But the thing to remember that when you are finding new audience, it might be an investment that's worth it. Yes, Alex.
You talk about what these sites do, like in
yes,
like...
of course. So Boost.com is that's B number zero ST.com, and I'm only talking about that because AWOL, my agitator, said you need to check these guys out, so I did. And they take your music, that is your Spotify links, that is your actual music links, and they will push that. In fact, they'll push anything. They'll push a video if you want. But my main area of interest is how do you get your links, your actual Spotify links, because Aaron, we were talking about this last week, to more people. Spotify do that. You're paying Spotify, ironically, and I think it's a crap deal. But there's something else, and we're going to get to that in a few days' time. So yeah, they're basically advertising agents, Alex. So they're going to help you push stuff out. How good that is, I don't know. I haven't looked, and I encourage you guys. Hey, Brendan's here. I encourage you guys to. Brendan, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And I think I sent your order out, but I think I sent everyone's order out. I don't know. What was I saying? Oh, yeah.
You were encouraging everybody, I guess, to maybe look into the analytics.
Yes, thank you.
Or kind of the...
That is exactly it. If you are on that Art of Rock playlist, you need to be watching your growth. And you need to be telling everybody here, I'm seeing an increase in growth. Because I'm going through that list and I'm changing the order like every week. I keep pushing the list. So we can actually see what's going on. Like I did this thing with Miss Ballistic where I got Healy & Flowers area and a whole bunch of like industrial darkwave bands, female fronted. And I did, an industrial playlist with female bands. Excuse me. And there was significant growth Like, there was a lump, a visible lump, where you could say, yeah, that's where it was and that's where it worked. Because when you've got bands like Area, Healy and Flowers, also, Ice and Tiller also pushing this link, and Ego Likeness, then it works. And it works when everybody pushes together. So you need to be watching your analytics are so important. And I apologize as viewers turn off because this is so boring. I'm not talking about synthesizers. This is so boring. But it's so important to log your analytics and look at what did I do right, what did I do wrong? If I did it wrong, how can I make it better? If I did it right, how can I even make it even more better? Like, this is research. No one's going to, if you're going to pay someone to do this, they're going to charge you a lot of money. A lot of money. Whereas you could look at stuff and figure it out. Remember, there are no rules in this. The rules are changing every freaking week. So, 30 days out, do a social media Facebook event. And that might be you playing a video or you playing the video of you going, hey, welcome to this thing. It's really awesome. Do it. Ta-da. Whatever it is. Because all advertising counts. I talked about that. I talked about Boost. Okay. Also, 30 days in, T-minus 30 days, you have to take those mastered tracks, convert them to MP3s, high-quality MP3s, and you have to fill in the fucking tags. The amount of artists who don't fill in the fucking tags. Holy crap. Like, when I'm sending shit to my DJs and I look at the artist and the MP3 that I get, and there's nothing there. It doesn't even have your name, the name of the track, the name of the album, or your name in it. It's a blank slate MP3. There's a bunch of software that's free that will allow you to put an image of the album in there, just a 500 by 500 pics. That's all you need. But you have to fill in all the other stuff, especially the tempo, the BPMs, because DJs want to know that. Put it in the MP3. The ISRC number, that's why this stuff's important. I'm sorry, am I boring you? And also the number for publishing, copyright, and all of that stuff. You need it. It's important because when you also put this stuff up on Bandcamp, Bandcamp's going to ask you all this shit. Put it in there, even the lyrics. T-minus 21 days, we're uploading tracks, remixes, covers, and everything to Bandcamp. In that also is your digital booklet, and that's important. People will probably look at it once, but if it's got lyrics in it, do it. Just do it. I used to think digital booklets weren't important, but people look at them. And they're kind of cool when you get a digital booklet, I think. I don't know if anyone looked at you. I don't know. Did anyone who has downloaded Diesel Priest, did anybody look at the digital booklet? Oh, thanks.
I really like the digital booklet.
Thank you. There's a whole bunch of information in there. And by the way, the CD has got 3 hidden tracks on it. But the digital doesn't. But it doesn't matter because as Patreon supporters, you will eventually get digital copies of those anyway and the singles that are coming out. And also, Hack, I need you to remind me to talk about AWOL and releasing a single. AWOL single duplication. 3 words. I want you to remind me later on. Okay. T-minus 21, if you have an email list, which you must have, you are going to send that out to that saying, coming soon, this album. And because it's now on Bandcamp and you can start doing pre-orders on Bandcamp, you're going to include the Bandcamp link. When Bandcamp Friday comes around, you're also going to be pimping the shit out of it, saying, get it now on Bandcamp Friday. Even though it's a pre-sale, just get it. Interestingly, people will not buy a pre-sale on Bandcamp Friday. They want the digital. They want it now. Just a notice. That's what I've noticed. I could be totally wrong. You're going to be blasting your fans on your email list. You're going to be blasting fans. You're going to be sending out the electronic twist list, electronic press list, minus 21 days as well to places like Regen or Sound and Shadows or other places that want to know 21 days beforehand. I didn't add here, hold on. I need to add Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Upload tracks. To SoundCloud. Oh, yay for maths. Okay. Boom. So also minus 21. Upload the tracks to SoundCloud. Very, very, very important. Because when you send out your electronic press list, you're going to say, hey, by the way, I want interviews and I want you to review it. Here is a private link to the SoundCloud. And if you want a digital copy of the album, email me and I'll send you one. And luckily, you already have it ready. You've got the digital artwork, you've got the cover. All of the MP3s have got the tags in them. That's what you send them. Press know that you're not supposed to make that shit public. Unfortunately, some press don't know. I've just given up on that one, frankly. I used to only send out press stuff the day of. But I don't think people torrent stuff anymore. Like, well, they do, but people now listen to Spotify and they listen to Pandora and they listen to all of that stuff. Incidentally, your agitator does not automatically send stuff to Pandora. Pandora is still alive and kicking. It's huge. AWOL does, DistroKid does. Not many others do, though. Although if they do, you have to pay for it. I'm sorry, I'm not really making sense in this incredibly interesting stuff. Yeah, so you're going to send out the electronic press list. You're going to be sending out a blog post to everybody on Bandcamp. Also, the album's coming soon, because in the Bandcamp community section, you can send an email to your fans, even if it's only 3 fans. And that's why it's a great idea, 12 months before you release the album, release stuff for free. And all they have to do is give you the email. All they have to do is opt into your Bandcamp email list. So you are starting to compile their names. Because their name is, fans are the currency of gold in rock and roll. And your ability to contact them and say something really cool is happening is, money can't buy you that. Well, money can buy you that, but it's fucking expensive. Returning customers, let me tell you. I'm talking about business here. It's kind of weird. Sorry. But this is your business, so it's good. I had to justify that. Next, also T-minus 21 days, we're going to get to all social medias and we are going to say, coming soon, new album, here's a glimpse of the artwork, coming soon. You might mention the launch date, you might not, because you know the launch date, because at the top of this document is the launch date and everything is pointing towards the launch date. And FYI, they like Fridays as, and Tuesdays for some reason. Don't know why. But you can launch your CD any day you want. In fact, they really like Tuesdays. I don't know why. Okay, and then you're going to start the coming soon pimpage. So you're going to compile all of your social media, all of your digital assets. That is your personal Facebook account, if your band has a fan page, if there's a page that you can hit constantly, for example, Black Pill, Red Pill, you can hit that as often as you want. That's what it's there for. Your actual main Facebook page, then there's the Instagram page. Then if you're crazy, you could hit Reddit. Then there's also the EBM pages and the big pages for people who are into the genre. You might only want to be mentioning it there only once, though. Same with Reddit. Reddit, it's where you go when you want to be reminded that you're crap. And you start pimping on your Twitter, your Twitch. Remember, YouTube also can send out stuff, and so does Bands in Town. If you don't have a Bands in Town, start building up Bands in Town, because Bands in Town are trying to create something with the backing of Spotify, Twitch, and a bunch of others as being a central network for promoting gigs, either electronic virtual gigs or real gigs, bandsintown.com. Write it down. Make sure you're there. Now, T-minus 21, we come to the mission critical date. And I'm going to just precursor this by saying, when you do a remix for someone, make sure that they enter you into the information when they're uploading their tracks. This is what I do. And I can't pay people for remixes, but there's a whole bunch of things that I'm going to try and do for you. One thing is I'm going to try and establish your virtual real estate on Spotify, because it's your Spotify for Artists account. And if you can prove to them that you are Brattenschatz, they'll let you have it. And all you have to show them is your Twitch, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Facebook, and your email, and a website. And you're that person, so we will allow you now to access that site, put up a banner, put up a PayPal for your tips, stuff like that. Can I just ask, with a show of hands, who does not have, if you've released something and you do not have control over your Spotify for Artists, and also your Apple Music as well do this too? But we're going to focus on Spotify. If you do not have control of your Spotify for Artists, please put your hand up so I can see it. You're not going to get in trouble. I'm going to help you. Wow, so everybody has control over it. You guys are a bunch of badasses. Good, good, good. Okay, so not only can you change your playlist on there, do it every week. It does work. Every time you do something different, people who are plugged into you, the algorithm does stuff that starts pushing music their way. About 3 weeks or so, about a week after you've sent it to you've uploaded it to your agitator, because T-minus 30, which is about a week ago now, we uploaded this to DistroKid and or AWOL, or whoever your agitator is. They're gonna get it to Spotify, and Spotify's gonna go, oh, check it out, there's new material from 40 Octaves Below. Cool. Now, because you now own your Spotify for Artists, that you've registered that, they'll send you an email, and they're gonna say there is up and coming music. We've just noticed on our radar there's up and coming music coming, and you'll notice if you go Spotify for Artists, then you go to music, then you go to up and coming. Got cut off. Hold on, is it? Up and coming. Your release will be there. And now this is everything points to this moment. What you then do is you go through the steps and you pick the strongest track you have. Single number 1, the strongest track. And you're going to push that to your DJs. Spotify is going to push that to DJs and editorials. You will need to tell them information about the instruments that we used, the genre, the mood. Fill in every single piece of information that you can possibly have. And I think there's a little tiny blurb where you can say a little thing about it. And if you do, make it funny. Because remember, this is going to DJs and editorial people who see boring press releases all the time. Make sure it's factual and make sure it sells you. But if it's got a twist of humor in there, humor goes a long way. The Gothsicles taught me that. If you want to just fucking blow that finish line, you want to go over it like a crazy person, humor. Here's Annette. Boom. So that is the mission critical moment. Annette, welcome. We're going over this crazy stuff. I'm just asking everyone to keep their mics muted so I can do this. What Spotify will then do is Spotify are going to push that to anybody, any editorial, your daily playlist, anything at all. And I'm not talking about your fans. I'm talking about the DJs and the editors who make all of the crazy new music from EBM, crazy new metal music. Those people who then are going to push that out. And because this is unreleased, they're going to push it even harder. And a lot of these people are not, you're not dealing with the algorithm here, you're dealing with human beings. They're going to start pushing your stuff. And if you do this right, you are going to notice a lump in your, like this spike, where they're pushing that single, and then they start when the album comes out, they'll start pushing the album. When people, I believe people can basically start hearing it, and the way Spotify do this is they do it in waves. Because as I mentioned, I was on this chat panel thing, I was just listening to it, with AWOL, and they were talking about the mysteries of Spotify, and they were saying that there are these waves. And if you miss the first week, they'll put you in the second week, they'll put you in the third week. But the thing to remember is that if you're in the first week, you'll be in the second week and you'll be in the third week. That's why you need to get your stuff to the agitator a month before it gets released so they can get it to Spotify. Everybody hates Spotify. I actually love Spotify, and at a different time, I will tell you why Spotify are fucking awesome. But that doesn't matter right now. Just fucking do this, because like I said, this is predominantly going to people who are curating playlists. Some algorithms in there as well, but it's predominantly human beings. Now what happens is that people, when they start putting those playlists out, which I think are about 2 or 3 weeks before your release, if you've done this right, people can start saving your track. And that's what you want. You want people to save your track and to put it on their playlists. Because once they have that and the album is available, it's most likely they'll just take the whole album and add it to a playlist. And if you miss out on a sale with them, the cents or the 10 cents or the pennies that you might generate from this will add up. Now, hold on, I'm just going to move this so I can read it. 21 days out as well. We're doing the social media pimpage coming soon. I said that. I've just gone backwards because look at me. I'm not caffeinated enough. On the 17th, you're going to start doing follow-ups to when you hit the press. If you're using something like MailChimp, what you can be doing is you can say, if they didn't open the email, send them another email. But this is also a follow-up to say, hey man, I wanted just to check in. Did you get the CD? Did you manage to review it? I'd really love to hear from you. Boom. I need to do more of that because I don't. You also want to start thinking about social media advertising. That's another conversation. I don't want to have that conversation right now. Obviously, when it comes to social media, I'm pushing that you push them towards Bandcamp. You push them towards actual sales. I've never actually done a Spotify-related ad on social media, just because the return on the investment is sort of broken to me. And I think I understand this well enough that I can hit levels, I can hit different places. Anyway, I digress. Social media select Facebook groups to advertise in, which I just talked about. If you want Spotify pre-save links, so they're going to give you the link for your Spotify about 2 weeks out, and it's a Spotify link. It's not a HTML, a HTTP link. The social media, you're going to start also pushing your Bandcamp link, but we actually did this back here on the 8th, so I'm going to get rid of that. Hi, I'm Carl, and this is a living document. The video shoot is complete. That's if you're doing a music video. I should change that. Hold on. Music video complete. Working document. And you might want to start pushing that out. Also, so that's going to be added to your pimpage, which is something I didn't do. DJs, MP3s, 2 weeks out. Some people call it a month. Some people say it's a week. 2 weeks out, you're going to take the hit track that you sent to Spotify, and you might take a B-side. If you have a remix or two, send them that too. And you're going to send that to your DJs. And your DJs are hopefully then going to start playing them. Hopefully. Announce pre-sale launch on Bandcamp. I'm going to get rid of that because we actually did that a month ago. Carl just deleted something. Add release data to your website. Yeah, social media, add release data to your website. That is your .com website if you have one. And all of that jazz. Then on release day, am I boring you? Am I boring you? On release day, thank you, Aaron. You have to remind me of something very shortly. On release day, you're just going to pimp the shit out of it. And something I did this time which really worked was 3 days. 3 days I did a campaign. And it was just a dumb image. On 2 days, it drops tomorrow. 2 days image. The day before, new album drops tomorrow. And then on the day of, I put rainbows and unicorns and bunnies and stars. And that actually worked. Because I was just going, fuck it. I'm losing my mind. And people really responded to it. Which is interesting. Humans, man. They think as funny as they taste. Thank you. Thank you very much. Register. I don't know how to do that because I never do that. Social media. No, you're pimping the shit out of this. Absolutely everything. IG. What's IG? Instagram bio. Oh yeah. Actually, that's a really interesting point. Is that when you do the socials way back here? Hold on. When you update your banners. Someone help me. What date do I update the banners?
As soon as you have Spotify pre-saves available.
So that's February 8. What date is that?
No.
Did I actually add this in here? Of course, I could just search for the word banner. I don't have that in there. All right, hold on. This is really important. Right here.
What's headers?
February 8. Where does it say header? Header.
21 days out.
Thank you, Doctor. February 8. Boom. Update IG and TT is TikTok bio. Boom. There.
Sure it is.
Okay. Wow, man. Great. Okay. So there is that. I'm going to throw the floor open in a minute, and the objective with when the floor goes open is I want to know how I can improve this, if I can improve this for your releases. As mentioned, this is not CDs. CDs and and Kickstarters are something else, and it's basically a redesign because fucking the amount of shit that's involved in that. So Grim, what were those 3 magic words? Single, AWOL, duplication. Okay, so here's the thing. That when you do a single, so you're going to do the main album. When you do a single, because as with my album, I actually did the first single about 2 months before the album. Hey everybody, the album's coming, here's the first single. Normally what you do is 2 or 3 months later, you do another single. So you're going to use this again. And what you'll notice is that shit starts overlapping in a really epic way. So when you're tearing your hair out, having a nervous breakdown, putting this thing out, like with T-minus 5 days, you're also shooting the artwork and getting everything ready for the next single. This stuff it compiles. And that's that's the part where you don't sleep. So this is important. When you release a single, some agitators do not, and they're the guys who are going to take your music, your digital files, and send them to Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff. Agitator. Some agitators do not have in place for you to actually release the same album version as a single. For example, Don't Know Zero was the first single. In fact, I won't do one. I'll do Killed on Camera, because Killed on Camera is the next single, and it drops mid-January. Maybe January 15, I'm not sure. But the track called Killed on Camera is going to be the second single from Angelspit's album Diesel Priest. So right now, I'm dealing with all this stuff. So here's the thing, is that Killed on Camera has already appeared on the, has already been released on Spotify. It's got the ISRC number and it's that version. But I'm making a decision, and that is when I release it as a single, it's going to be the exact same version, because I don't want two versions. Because if this one gets 100,000 views, and that I'll say 100 plays, and this one gets 100 plays, as far as my top plays, they're going to stay down here. But if it's the same song, getting 100 plays and 100 plays, that's 200 plays. So it's going to end up in my top 5, because that's what I want. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? If you split the vote, you get 2 halves. If you keep it whole, you get one big whole. And that whole, because it's higher on your list, will attract more plays. That's what I want. So I went back to AWOL and I said, there's a problem. And that is, I have to re-upload a song. How do I release the same song that already exists on Spotify as a single, so that I can push that same version to the Spotify playlist, etc.? And they've got a solution for me, which when I read it, because I haven't read my emails in a week because I'm having a nervous breakdown, I will tell you guys how they do it. And I'm sure DistroKid can do it as well. But there's a trick. And although this sounds like a whole bunch of dumb numbers and who gives a fuck, it's actually mission critical. Like, this is really important, that you want that one track to go further, so it's on your top 5 and it's on this, it's higher on the radar. And there lies the release timeline according to Angelspit. And there's so much here that we could change. And now I want to throw the floor open. If you've got a question, put your hand up, because I just want to keep it regulated. I might not be able to answer these questions, but I am so willing to change this to suit you, because you are what this is all about. And then we're going to download this. You can download it and copy it in something. Just remember to use a formula to change the numbers on your side. So if you say, you can then change the release date. Vince?
Okay. I have one minor question. I don't have the ability to get an ISRC number or a barcode until I release a track, because I don't have an upgraded DistroKid account. I've got the $20 basic, the $20 a year. I plan on upgrading it soon, but as of right now, I don't have that. So if you're supposed to have your ISRC numbers, is it either 40 days out or 60 days out? I'm not sure, because I don't remember. I think it's in between the two. But
email me.
Okay, so you can get those.
I'll get them to you for free. As I'm registered as a record label, so I can generate, and it's between 100,000. It's 10,000 to 100,000 a year.
How you say you're registered as a record label? How do you mean that? With who? Because I just got signed up with ASCAP. Can I do it through them?
You might be able to. I'm not sure. Actually, I didn't. There's something missing in this, and that is register your tracks with ASCAP. Can you remind me? I need to add that. Actually, I don't know if you can, because one of the questions they ask you is, what's the ISRC? I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
And see, the other thing is,
Like I'm more than happy to just email you about it, but
Email
like,
me.
I just want
Yeah,
if there
because
was a way to,
this is what's really interesting is, and the reason that I prefer to buy these things and have them ready is it becomes this fucking chasing its tail, so that you can't do this until you have the ISRC, but you can't get the ISRC until you have this. That's why I registered as a label. And you don't have to put it out on Black Pill, Red Pill. There's no obligations. All I ask is that you keep a spreadsheet and you write in the ISRC that I give you, and you put the name in there. And then you might register. You might send that back to me and just say, look, FYI, I'll give you fucking 100. Tell me what you need. But the thing about them is that they update each year. That there's a little number header in it, which is the year. So if it's like I'm about to release an album, I need 20, and it's going to be released this year, just send me that, and I will send you the appropriate numbers for 2021. If it's not, it ain't brain surgery. They could say 1973. It doesn't fucking matter. It's just a formality. So step 1 is do that. Step 2 is I could throw you a barcode. In fact, fuck it. I'll throw you a barcode. They cost me $1. Don't worry about it. And I'll also be sending you the PNG files and the files required for that barcode. So just email me. It might take me a couple of days to get around to emails right now because I'm a mess. I'm a mess. And my keyboards are covered in merch. I don't know if anyone can see that. They're covered in t-shirts right now. Vince, did that answer your question?
yeah, that's
Great.
good.
Just email me.
Okay.
Julius.
Okay, so we were talking about double releasing tracks via DistroKid or Able or whatever.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite catch the solution for this. So I have to write DistroKid if I want to do this, or?
Well, hold on. I'm just writing something in here because I suck. Hold on. This is important. I just need to say register ASCAP/pro. Damn it. For releasing a single that has already appeared on an album, you're going to have to research. And you'll probably have to email DistroKid and ask them. So the answer to the question is yes. Just to make sure they can actually do it. Some places are going to say, oh, just do it, call it a single track and do a separate ISRC. And you go, no, if you want to do that, do that. But, and like I said, this is an experiment. This is something I'm trying because quite often, and I always look at what would Duran Duran do, because their marketing was brilliant. It fucking was. Duran Duran had an album version and they had a single version. But Duran Duran didn't have to fuck around with what we fuck around with now. So, and there's, there's a lot of argument to say I'm going to do a single edit. I'm going to do an edited version for the single. It's a strong argument. But my argument is something that just I'm trying right now is I'm looking at the numbers. And from what I am learning right now, it makes better sense to have the single and the album to be the same version. So in answer to your question, because I'm prattling now, contact DistroKid. If you want to do this. If you don't want to do this, it's a different version, and a different version gets an ISRC, and that's a different upload, so fucking who cares? You get it?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
And if you're confused or if I'm tying anyone up, just say, I don't understand. It's totally okay, because this is... Marketing sucks.
Alex just posted a link in the chat. It might give another solution. I will just go through this. Thank you.
Yeah. When it comes to DistroKid, you can email them, but you may not necessarily get the information you're looking for without having several emails back and forth. I had a similar issue. I had one song off the only full album I've ever released, but when I re-released the album, I put extra songs on it, and one of them was something that was already released. Their solution for that was delete the original track and just re-upload it with the album, because it can be purchased separately as a single anyway. It doesn't have to be listed as a single release for the numbers on it to count. But I think that also gives it a different ISRC number because it's technically a new upload. So I don't think that necessarily solves your problem. So you're probably going to have to ask them several follow-up questions.
Yeah, it's a workaround basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is that's great. Thank you for that, Alex. I've just put that in the chat. Some of the solutions these places give us, like, what the fuck? Do you even work in this fucking industry, man? Like, anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. Graham.
Hey, so I don't know if this is something like pre-album release or something after it's already picked up steam and or already gone out there, but what is your view on like live appearances, gigs, live promotion? Granted, current events aside, I don't know. It's like I'm wondering if that's a way to help, like a after release promotion still would help be a benefactor to what you did. Like, for example, the Logan Square gigs where you would do like the live audioscapes to footage and things like that, you know?
Yeah. It's really helpful. It helps a lot. It would, like, what I want to do right now is, what you've brought up is a new conversation, and it's a conversation that I want to have, and it's really important. But right now, what I want to do is finish this conversation, and a takeaway from what you've just said is there is a shitload that goes on after this. Like, there is months and months worth of follow-up, including every, that happens after this, because this is just running up to the release. So, I tell you what, I mean, like, I am open to adding some post things here, but if it's a case of I want to book a gig, I want to do a set of tours, that's going to happen 2 months out. So so I will start adding things. In fact, I'm not going to do that because this is possibly like maybe there should be a separate one of these things to talk about booking gigs. And other promotion. Like, it's very important. I'm not shooting you down or anything. Like, it's really important, but it's like, I can make this as complicated as you want.
Well, what I'm wondering is, in the vein of that, so if you're ramping up to release, like up and to, right? If you're shoveling coal into the locomotive, as it were, maybe like you could do like a live listen party, like prior to the album release.
That's brilliant.
Where you say, hey, I'm gonna play the single, and I'm gonna give you another track, but we're just gonna kick some ass, and we're gonna listen to this, and people could blow up the live feed on
all right,
TikTok, Twitch,
that's
whatever.
Yes. 30 days out, there's a social media release day Facebook event, and that could happen there, and that's here.
Granted, I mean it's one more thing, but it could be another flare.
Oh, it's a good thing.
Just to say, hey, I'm doing a thing, and by the way, it's coming out a couple weeks.
FB release day event. It's in there. There is something in there, and I spelt release wrong, and I don't care. Fuck. It's in there. And what I can't stress it enough. It's what you're saying is so important. But I have got something in there 30 days out that it's announced that there's going to be something going on, and what that thing could be is a conversation that has got to happen. Possibly not right now though, because I want to focus on this remarkably boring list. And if you've just joined us, we're looking at a spreadsheet. Thank you, Grim. That was great.
Buckle up, man. This ride gets a little crazy.
Yeah, it really does. Alex.
If you publish a physical release, you have to register it to in Germany it's an agency called GEMA, which like handles royalties over radio and so CD sales. And I wonder, do you think such a thing makes sense if you only release digitally and are not well known, or do you think it's a must?
Oh, wow.
Must.
Okay, hold on a minute. All right, Annette, put your hand up, because if you want to add, put your hand up and I'll give you the floor. No, seriously, you've got shit to add here. So if you want to throw it in, put your hand up. And if you want, because do you have a little hand logo there?
I do. Let me see.
No, it doesn't matter. Just
yeah.
Okay, I'll go first. Yes, it's a must. But here's the thing. If you want to put your CD, your track on the cover CD of Sonic Seducer or something like that, you have to pay GEMA. I think it's about $800. And they say, oh, you're going to recoup that. You don't. You do not, because that is supposed to make its way. In my case, it's supposed to make its way back to the Australian Performing Rights Association, APRA, which is Australia's version of GEMA or ASCAP or BMI. I got $300 out of that, so I lost $500. Oh, it was great exposure. No, the return on investment for that was bloody awful. It was pitiful. So there is a lot of German bands in our scene. In fact, in a lot of scenes, do not register their stuff with GEMA or ASCAP or all of that stuff because they want to put their music on the cover of something. So the way you get around that is you register stuff with your, it's called a pro, you know, with your performance rights organization, pro. But then you do a different version. And that version is literally an edit. You literally cut it. You will cut out that verse. You will do a different version with a different ISRC, and you do not register that with GEMA or ASCAP or APRA. So the purpose of GEMA, etc., is to take care of radio plays and whenever your music turns up and if it ever gets licensed and XYZ. But it's interesting how I'm not sure where the boundaries of DistroKids, your agitators' ability to collect royalties ends and APRA's begins. Because, oh no, Vince has got something to say. My income from APRA is about 1/100th of my disco income from AWOL, where theoretically I should be being paid a mechanical royalty, a digital mechanical royalty for every time my music gets played. But I don't. Or I do, and it's so fucking minuscule. I don't know. I'm going to throw this to Annetta because she wants to say something. I see Alex. Sorry, I'm going to throw it to Alex. Then I see your hand, Vince. But remember, the objective of the exercise here, the overarching thing is we are talking about this piece of paper. But Annetta, go.
Actually, I wasn't aware that in Europe that it costs that much. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot to ask of an independent musician. Wow.
Or their label.
Wow.
It's the same thing. If in the USA, if you put your music on a CD, it's the same thing. Any fucking country at all, because it's a mechanical royalty that magazine has to pay. Because we're going to print 10,000 of these magazines. That means that we have to pay that pro the royalty, but we're not going to pay the royalty. You are, because it's your privilege to be on our magazine.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Rock and roll is the only industry that once you pay the house off, they still own the house.
What?
But anyway,
that's crazy.
All
right,
I'm going to shut up. The floor's yours.
No, that just totally blew my mind, and I didn't know that. So I was like, whoa, that's intense. Like, that's crazy. Why would they put that on us? I mean, like, we're not struggling enough already. Damn. Okay. So yeah, no. In light of that information, I would do the same thing. I wouldn't register it. It's the same. Like I was gonna say, you gotta have credit for what you created and stuff. But damn.
Yeah. Well,
wow.
But remember the way around that is don't register that track.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's totally legal.
Yeah.
Because it's got its own ISRC, its own length, everything about it. You might even do a different mix and a different master. And you call it the Sonic Seducer Mix or whatever magazine is rorting you. Big hi to my friends at Sonic Seducer. And I want to thank you for all the years of amazing support you've given me and all industrial bands. Thank you. You're amazing. I love you. I do. You're fucking awesome. But we need to talk about this CD bullshit.
Let's keep going.
Thank you, Anetta, Alex, and then Vince.
Yeah, just wanted to say, maybe for a later date, but I would be interested how this whole releasing a promo track on a CD in a magazine works, but probably for a later time.
Yeah, for sure. It involves you paying lots of money. You pay them money. You will pay them money for advertising, and then you will pay your royalty agents for the privilege of doing it, usually. I could be wrong on that, but that's been my experience, and it's been bad. Vince, I want to hear, and then I'll throw it to you, Drake.
Okay, you mentioned not knowing where your agitators collection ends, and the only thing they collect on is your streaming royalties. That's it, and that is technically the digital mechanical royalties. So anything else, you're gonna radio play and public performances, you'll get through your PRO. Everything else digital goes through your distributor.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Question. Do you have to pay your PRO to release physical copies of stuff yourself?
No.
No?
No.
I'm just double check. I didn't see why you should.
No, unless if it's a cover of another track, you have to pay them.
Okay, you have to pay the PRO for that?
I believe so, because they're then going to pay the artist. If you're saying I'm printing 1,000 copies, they have a lot of them have an area where you can actually put. I covered this song by fucking Grimm. I covered one of Grimm's tracks, and I'm going to print 1,000 CDs. They will come back and say, well, you have to pay us this much money, and we will pay that money to Grimm. Because that's his the mechanical right of his song on your CD is that royalty.
But you don't need to pay your PRO also to release it digitally.
Correct. Oh, if it's a covers are yeah, we're not talking about covers. That's correct.
You pay a separate fee through your distributor for that to secure rights for it.
Yeah.
$12 a year with DistroKid.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's good. All right, they're good. But no, you don't have to pay your PRO.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. I remember I was talking to this drummer once and he told me how he bought a pair of boots with his yearly income. And I went, I bought 2 pairs of boots. And then I was talking to my best friend. He goes, no, I bought a 4-story house. It's like, you bastard. Anyway. I still have the boots. Drake, go.
Yeah, this is fascinating. I'm pretty organized, but I realize, I've been by and large blundering my way along up to this point, and I love spreadsheets. This is awesome. I started out, again, blundering. I was on CD Baby, and then I switched over to DistroKid on the last release because I wanted to release a cover song, and they deal with that much better. But now I'm hearing, AWOL may be the way to go. Does anyone have any experience with transitioning from DistroKid to AWOL? Yeah, I'd be interested to hear about that.
Okay. Firstly, with AWOL, they used to take. I said last week they used to take any old body, and that's why I got in, because they take anyone. Now there's a process you have to go through that if you make a certain amount of sales, you can only get in, like it's an audition thing. Getting off DistroKid is fantastic because you basically say, I don't want to be on you guys anymore. let me quantify. I have 2 accounts. I have a DistroKid account. This is totally legal. And I have an AWOL account. I do most of what I do on AWOL, but if I do something with someone else, for example, Hardcore Pong, and Brian co-wrote that, so every time royalties happen with Hardcore Pong or May Graves or anything else that I've actually co-composed, I do it through DistroKid, because DistroKid's engine for dealing with co-writing is elite, as is so much with what DistroKid does. DistroKid, unfortunately, has a tier thing where you have to pay a higher tier to get certain things. That pisses me off with DistroKid. AWOL, it's everything 10%. They take a 10% cut and they'll do everything. So I have 2 accounts. I highly recommend you do not remove songs from an agitator. If they've got your songs and they're doing okay, pull them off. I know that with CD Baby and The Orchard, it's difficult to do that. With DistroKid, you give them 30 days and a polite email and they'll get rid of them. But the problem is, when they take it, they will pull out the roots. Every morsel. On Amazon, on Apple Play, everywhere, your song is gone. From every playlist, your song is grayed out. You then have to re-upload it through maybe AWOL, and then those people have to re-find it and reconnect the dots. And that's problematic. That's very problematic. So if you're on DistroKid, stay on DistroKid, because I love DistroKid. There are so many things DistroKid does that are fucking awesome. But if you can get onto AWOL, do it. Maybe try doing a release on AWOL. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
And by the way, if you guys have comments about this sheet, let me know. Because the objective is for you, every one of you. I mean, like, all of you. This is for you. So we're going to nail this out today. Alex, I see your hand. I see your hand up, Alex.
Yeah, just quickly, I've researched how to release on tape, and at least in Germany, it's so you have to pay GEMA as if all the songs were someone else, and then you get back like 90% of the money you paid.
Tape?
Tape, yeah. If you release like compact cassettes or like CDs or whatever.
Can I ask you questions
Yes.
about that? So is it also the same with CD and VHS?
Yeah, I think so.
Can I give you some professional advice?
Don't release on.
Fuck those guys. Fuck those guys. It's their fucking job to be paying you. This is bullshit. See, here's another thing, is that if your CD or anything else is in shops, sure. APRA doesn't fucking charge. Bloody BMI, ASCAP don't charge. Although I will say that GEMA are amazing. They're one of the best in the world at doing what they do. And now we're learning why. If you release your CD on your Bandcamp, because let's face it, the reality is you're going to sell it on Bandcamp, Etsy, and maybe on Discogs. Does anybody have a Discog? Fuck them. They don't have to know. It's not their fucking business. They only, and at gigs, they only know this shit because you tell them. Don't tell them. That's right. GEMA can fuck off. Don't tell them. And I sang you a song before and you didn't respond. And it was such a good song. Yeah, okay, so we're just going to not worry about Carl's song and Carl shooting his mouth off. Graham, did that answer your question? Be illegal. I'm not going to pay anyone for me releasing my album. Fuck off. You tell them that. Carl said you should fuck off. Y'all should fuck off. Julius, do you want to bring any order to this?
To this, no, and maybe can Vince go first because I'm not prepared right now.
All right, welcome to my... I just talk anyway, even when I'm not prepared. Vince, how stoned are you right now?
As soon as I need to. I'm good. I just wanted to say to Drake that if he's got other questions about DistroKid, I've been with DistroKid since like 2007, so I've got a pretty good handle on how their distribution stuff works and like navigating it. I've been doing it for a little while now. Carl can attest to the fact that I've answered several questions.
Yes,
about
yeah, he knows his shit.
So if you have questions, feel free to ask me. I'm on the Discord. I'll send you my email address somewhere. I'll like find your Facebook, something if you need me to. I'm on Facebook too. You know, you just message me somewhere. I'll answer questions.
And on that, remember that I bring to this a fraction, this community, this squad. I bring a faction. I'm just the fucking loudmouth. That's my job. Just the fucking loudmouth. And Adam's a better loudmouth than I am. Everybody, where the fuck is Adam, by the way? So is Grim. Everybody brings something to them with their experience here. It doesn't matter how many fucking CDs you've sold. Every one of us has something important. So never be shy to share it. Because my new album has been sculpted from what you have said. I threw out the whole first batch of mixes because of a conversation we had on The Art of Rock, and I pushed the delay, I pushed it back a month so I could remix the entire fucking album. And the release schedules and all of that stuff has been changed by conversations here, by your ideas. Never ever forget that you guys have got so much to offer. I just bring coffee. Go, Julius.
Okay, so I couldn't find the line in the spreadsheet, so I'm just asking. I have sent you the press release of my upcoming EP. I
Yes.
hope you remember. And you replied to my email and said I need a TXT version of it.
A text
And
version.
I was not sure how that was meant. Do you literally mean a TXT file, or do I have to?
No,
do it
you mean a text version.
else?
This is important. Can we talk about this for a minute? And I thank you. I see your email is there, and I have to get you. I'm just fucking buried right now, man. I'm so sorry.
Fine, it's okay.
So, according to this, everybody help me find it because I'm just not caffeinated enough to read right now. Okay, on the T-minus 21 days, which is going to be February 8th, you're going to be sending it to the electronic, you're going to be sending your press kit to the press, to me, and then I'll send it to the press. But you have to send them an email. And that email is a version of the press kit because not everyone's going to read it. And it's basically a, for immediate release. And it basically says, I want interviews, I want reviews. Here is a text version on the email itself, typed out, of the release. Did I send you this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Cool. So basically, you'll notice that, hey, this looks exactly like the press release. It is. I just copy and pasted the PDF file, put it on an email, so that when I send it to my press, everything they need to know is there. And if they go to the electronic press kit or the EPK, there's a PDF version of the press kit because they've already read it. And there's a big version of there's a press size 2000 pixel size cover, and there might be some tracks if you're comfortable putting tracks in, and also have artist images as well, like 2000 pix artist images. Did that answer? So 3 weeks out, you do that, and so just out of interest, what was your release date?
January 7.
So do I say the 7th of January because this is January 7? Okay. So according to this, on the 17th of December, we're sending this to the electronic press list goes to the journos, the press. Mm-hmm. So here's some thoughts. Is that early January is hard because mine is going out on the 10th. Oh, mine's going out mid-January. So if you want to try it, we can try it. But just know everything in the galaxy closes down from kind of the 20th of January to easily the 1st of the 20th of December to the 1st of January easily. So we can try it. I'm all about it. We can try it. Just January is really iffy. That's all. It's really iffy. Just because.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's try it.
But
I fixed the date now and.
No. Let me finish this up. The other thing to
Sorry.
remember is that everybody is not giving a fuck looking at social media. Therefore, advertising this on social media in that period is actually a bloody good idea. So, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So let's try it. And if I don't get, if you need to be on my case about this, December 17th. I've now changed the dates of this to fit your release. If you said the 7th of January, is that Bowie's birthday? He died on the 10th of January. I think the 7th is Bowie's birthday. Or is it the 8th? Thank you, Mark. Did you have any further questions?
No.
Okay. And if it is Bowie's birthday, there's a press angle there. It is the 8th. Okay, thank you very much. Grim, I see your skeletal hand.
Hey. So, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it's, as much as we've covered ground where you're like, I don't know if this is boring or, no, like, this stuff is important. Like, I appreciate you actually going over this because it's the equivalent of having a fucking car wash, you know? And you got, like, buckets and sponges and this and that, and you're like, doesn't anybody know? I'm the best fucking person in the world at washing cars. Why isn't anybody showing up? But if you didn't have any fucking signs or people to wave or like a billboard or a radio show being like, get your car washed down on the corner of what the fuck ever and who gives a shit street. The point is, it's like you have to have something. And I appreciate the ability to actually have a spreadsheet to corral the chaos. You know, everybody wants that secret formula, or they want to tout themselves as being the master of whatever. You know, you get a lot of pretentious people out there going, oh, sign up for my master class and pay me $5,000 and I'm going to teach you how to do shit. And it's like, no, it's all there and it's all on a spreadsheet and it fucking rocks. Second thing is, I was supposed to remind you of something, Sir Zoog.
Yeah, no, I did
about 3 words.
Yeah. Something about 3 words, and those 3 words are I love you. No, it was the whole single thing. You know, because I'm single, I love you. You know, that we were talking about singles and AWOL and the double, you know, when you do we were talking about how when you release an album, then you want to release the single. Having the difficulty of actually releasing. Everybody's just laughing at me going, he's just talking around in circles right now. This is very entertaining. We got it. And by the way, listen to T-Rex. Listen to T-Rex. You need to listen to T-Rex. T-Rex was an English... He was before there was glam. Yeah. He was before there was glam. Arguably started glam, and he was the guy Bowie went, I want to be like T-Rex. Because T-Rex was the first dude to really hit the tween market. And what he did was, he did, you know that song Bang a Gong, Get It On? That was T-Rex. It's fantastic. And you listen to it and you go, those guitars are fucking good. And the riffs, man, it's great. So if you don't like glam, it's all T-Rex's fault. And the songs are so good. So I'm on a T-Rex bender. Yeah. You guys seriously don't know who T-Rex is. It's all right. Now you know. T-Rex is great. Great songs. And all of them, you listen to them and you go, man, these tracks are like this far away from being electronic. Because when he was doing his thing, the electronic thing was really breaking. He was like the first stage of like early Kraftwerk. But this guy is rock and roll, straight up. T-Rex. Even Bowie wanted to be T-Rex.
Watching it now, it's pretty good.
It's great. Just look at that makeup. And the capes. They have capes. What happened to capes? Why don't we have capes anymore?
because they get caught in jet engines.
Yeah, they do. Thank you.
Have you not seen The Incredibles?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Darling, no cats. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like this conversation has reached the end of its. And another one is Jerry Rafferty. Jerry Rafferty, he's Scottish, and he did Baker Street, which is arguably the greatest rock and roll song ever written. And he also did Stuck in the Middle of You. When you're cutting someone's ear off, that's what you listen to. That was Jerry Rafferty. Best. The songs are fantastic. And when you get a chance, yeah, shut up. I'll be there in a minute, Julius. When you get them, listen to Baker Street. Listen to it by Jerry Rafferty. Listen to the merging of rock and roll, because it was 1976. Rock and roll and electronic music seamlessly coming together. This guy basically birthed ELO, but he wasn't. Had nothing to do with it. But they went, I want to be like Jerry Rafferty. You listen to the classical element, the rock and roll element, and the electronic element in Baker Street, and it's got the greatest guitar solo of all time. Jerry Rafferty, Baker Street. What a track. It's got the sax, the sax line everybody takes the piss of. Everyone's Googling it right now. Julius, I love you.
Likewise.
Thanks.
So this was a brutally informative meeting today. Maybe I just couldn't process this. Question, why would I need the ISRC numbers in advance before releasing?
Because it's a pain in the... getting them from somewhere else is a pain in the ass. And like I was saying before, what you want to do is you want to have all of the tracks ready at this period, at this time. And that time is fucking way back here. Just trust me as an old bastard. You really want shit 45 days out. As an old bastard who's done this so many times, you don't want to say, okay, I've got this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit. You just want to go chunk. All of the tracks are now ready. Because the ISRCs are so important. And that's why... Did I give you ISRCs?
No.
I'm a horrible friend. And No, I am. I'm terrible. And if you need a barcode, let me know as well. I'll throw you one as well. Because I bought 20 a while back. So email me and say I need a barcode.
Might do those things.
All right. And just, you might need to remind me because I am just terrible at life right now. That's why. And then you need a spreadsheet for your music. And in that spreadsheet, you also want to say the song name, the ISRC number. When you register these tracks with GEMA or ASCAP, they'll give you their own special number as well. It's got to go in there. It should also have the BPM and the length. You need this shit. And also the Spotify link. You need that Spotify link. Because Spotify's going to be around for a long time. Graham.
Hey, so in tandem with that question, so is an ISRC just a way to help categorize, or is it a stake your claim / copyright / plant your flag, whatever scenario there?
Technically speaking, it's stake your claim. It's not a copyright flag, but it goes towards it, because the first question they're going to say is when you actually go through the whole copyright thing, what's their ISRC? Because there is only one ISRC for that song, and it is unique to that song and that song only. And it's the way that so many things are going to be. It's the data key number that so many things are going to be using as your ISRC. And it's bloody important. That's Baker Street. It's just 70s porn music. It's great. And you just expect someone to come in and say, I've come to fix the Wi-Fi. Oh, I'm sorry. I just got out of the shower. I'm still wet. I'm so sorry. And then that guy says, it's all right. I was just working on my abs. I'm sweaty too.
The storyline is ludicrous.
I know. I was going to go with, did somebody order a pizza? Dialogue, but I thought maybe not. Or did somebody order
this? It's like Big Lebowski. It's like Big Lebowski. She's like, oh, that's my friend. She came over to use the shower. And she just looks over at her. She's like, storyline is ludicrous.
Okay, was there anything anybody else wanted to talk about regarding this thing? And my last question, it never is the last question. Who has Microsoft Excel? Can I see hands? Okay, yeah, okay, they don't, fair enough. Because I wanted to figure out the best way of doing this. And I also, because I don't really understand Google Docs all that well, like, can you take this, copy and paste it and save it, or do I have to give you a special privilege?
You can save it as XLS in the site.
So
Go to
even though you're only viewing this, so my next question is, if you do save it as an XLS, the ability to change that number at the top is mission critical, because when you change the number, all of those dates change accordingly, and that's the whole point of this thing. So if somebody wants to do that, like download it as an XLS, then change the date, tell me if it works, and or save it onto your own Google document to tell me if that works, while I'm talking to the amazing Drake. Next up, it's the amazing Drake.
Yeah, the formulas will download when you download it. I use OpenOffice, which is a free version that's compatible with Excel. But the question I wanted to ask was, how does copywriting fit into your flow? What do you do in terms of copyright? Did I miss it, or is that already in here?
I did add it. I mean, like, on December 30th, T-7 days, it's registered tracks with ASCAP, GEMA/Pro. So, and technically that's not copywriting. Like, if you're actually hardcore going in for the copywriting thing, you might want to do it then. You might want to do it earlier. In fact, you know what? I'm going to move that. Because technically speaking, you're copywriting that 2 weeks after it's gone to the DJs, and that's kind of stupid. Carl, you're on drugs. I'm going to move stuff. So if you just downloaded that.
Carl, copywriting is something that I, for each release, I've gone back and go, I actually should be copywriting, and I go and look at it, and I'm completely overwhelmed, and I just go, fuck it.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because, hold on, it's 21 days.
All my stuff's registered with a pro, but I haven't taken that extra step to, legally copyright.
We did roughly have that conversation once. I just changed it. So I moved that back up to register with GEMA Pro / copyright. We've talked about it, and it was the same thing. It was like, I feel obligated to say it really is something I should be doing, and we all should be doing. I've never had the need for it, and I've got a paper trail on everything I do that is so long that it's repulsive. But I don't know if that even matters. So, we could talk about that, or because I know Rose wanted to bring up something about remixing. Unless, does anybody else want to talk about this fantastic document? Or are we done? So please download it if we're done, and you feel free to change it as you wish. Does anybody want to say anything else?
I just want to mention that I was able to just go to File and make a copy for myself in my Google Drive of the spreadsheet.
So can you actually, and you can change the date as well?
Yeah, so on my own copy, I could just edit in whatever I want.
Excellent. Okay. I feel as if I am fulfilled, and we got this done. We have about 20 minutes. I want to throw it to Rose because Rose had a question about remixing. Do you want to talk about that?
I'm back. Yes. Let's do it. Let's talk about remixing. All right. My question about remixing is, when you are creating the metadata for a remixed song, where do you give credit to the person that's remixing? In which section of the metadata?
Okay.
That is my question. And I tried looking it up. I tried Googling this, and I found like little tips and stuff, but I didn't find something that actually like directly answered my question. And it's my first remix. So help a girl out.
I'm going to throw this to Vince. Vince, do you have insight?
Yes, but it's practical insight, not so much actual research I've done on this. if I'm doing a remix for my own records, when I put it into when I save it in my computer, contributing artist is where the other artist goes. You got the main artist, who's whoever did the track originally, and then you got album artist, rather, which is who originally did the track, and then contributing artist is where you would put both the original artist and who did the remix.
Thank you. Can I shoot my mouth off?
Yes.
So, if you're doing it onto Bandcamp, I would be saying band when it says artist, band X, main band versus remix artist. That's what I'd say.
Okay.
If you're tagging an MP3, I'd do the same thing. In the title of the track, I would call it blah, 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 in brackets, band remix. So it might be, what was the name of the track that I did?
Boogeyman.
Boogeyman! Boogeyman brackets Angelspit remix. That's why when I do a remix and when I have people remixing, I don't want them to have this big long wank name of blah 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 Dungeon Dark Remix 66. I don't fucking care. Call it the name of the fucking track brackets your name remix. However, when you then put and do that on the CD as well. I mean, if you want to go down the CD route, do it when you upload this stuff to your agitator, that is CD Baby, AWOL, DistroKid. What they encourage you to do, and then remind me of what the pros want you to do, your performance royalty organization. What your agitator want you to do is just call it the name of the track. And then there's all of these contributing artists that you put their details in there, and it will say, it's one of the drop downs in there where you can type in remix, where remix artists will come up, and then you put their name in. There's an interesting thing going on here that when you, on AWOL anyway, because I did this on DistroKid, but it was such a long time ago. With AWOL, it is contributing artists, as Vince said, and then there's a drop down of all. It could be the vocalist, the conductor, the remixer, and I think remixing is right on the bottom under guy who picked up my poo when I shat my pants, person, work experience kid that got me coffee, remixer. Click that one, and then when you type their name in, it will actually actively look for their name on the database of Spotify and Apple Music, and it will actually lock those names in, and that's really important because then their name, when you upload, when it all comes together, becomes a live link. So if you click on them, it will go to their stuff. Okay. And that's how we're all helping each other out. The last thing is when you put this with ASCAP or BMI, it's this, or your performance royalty organization.
ASCAP.
Thank you. I think it's basically the same thing. It's the name of the track. Then there is a different thing where you look for who remixed it. And remember, the remix has got its own ISRC number. And also, Rose, if you need an ISRC, let me know.
Yeah.
And
I'll take.
Yeah, just you got to email me and you got to give me some time.
I will. No problem.
Yeah, they will have their own remix numbers. Okay. Yeah, remix number gets their own ISRC.
Makes sense.
Every single version of a track, if it's you cut the verse out, that becomes special version, gets its own ISRC. Boom.
Got it.
And now, was there anything else? Did anybody else have a question they wanted to ask me?
Yes, I do. Thought of a thing.
Julius, put your hand back up. Vince, go.
All right. I recently released Face Change. I'm going to do a different version of it, but I'm not technically the songwriter. It's not I haven't registered it with ASCAP yet because I plan on registering it with the original artist as a songwriter if possible. But if I can't, because they don't have an IPI number for ASCAP, because I'm pretty sure they don't, because I discussed it with them, and they had no idea what a PRO was, so I sent them some information. But how would I go about getting that split? Or do I just not register it with ASCAP? That's that song in particular?
I believe what you do is you register it with ASCAP, whatever the split is you put in, and you just write their name in there, and it goes into a red letter, kind of like a lost and found department, where when somebody equaling their name comes up, they will possibly connect the dots. I think that's what you do. Another thing you need to do is kick your friend and say, join a fucking performance royalties organization, for fuck's sake. Then give them their address and give that to Rose. And me and Rose will go there with machetes.
Also, if I do another version of that song, since I technically didn't, how do I go about, see, this is the one thing about DistroKid I haven't got figured out yet. Because I didn't write it. So if I register it with ASCAP with someone else's name under songwriter, is that going to screw up me being able to release another version of it without the person that originally wrote it?
Okay, but if they still wrote it, technically it's still a cover.
I have permission to do it from
Right.
them.
Oh,
but
great.
I don't know how to go about doing a royalty split so that DistroKid will allow it to be uploaded, because technically it's a cover of my own song.
Okay. So that's getting into co-writing territory. That's co-writing, right? Or is this a remix?
Well, it's more of a remix, but I'm using the original parts that I made
Okay.
for the track and changing them a little bit and then adding new stuff instead of
Okay.
the original.
So this is a gray area. And it's interesting because I wanted to touch on this with Rose. Technically speaking, when somebody remixes your music, they are entitled to a cut because they've written music. It's their music, and whatever you walk with, technically, they're a remixer who is entitled to a cut, legally speaking. Because if they contributed new music to your already existing idea, they've... But I'm not sure of the legalities on that. So what you might need to do with this person is say, okay, I'm going to treat it as a remixer, and depending on how much you've put into it, you are co-writers of a new version, which gets its own ISRC.
Okay.
That would be how I would be addressing it, and making sure that your friend is also on DistroKid or an agitator. Is your friend on DistroKid/agitator?
Yes.
All right, great.
There's already a 50-50 split, and a 50-50 split's been arranged for the new version when I do it.
Great.
We actually did co-write the song. I did roughly half of it, and then I did all the post-production, so it got released on my record label, technically. So really, I own the rights to the song until I get it registered with ASCAP with him as songwriter, at least. And I just wanted to make sure I'm not going to do anything that might cause me an issue later by re-releasing it without the other artist and still paying them for it, but also trying to figure out how to split things through all venues.
For sure.
There.
That's my thoughts. If you guys are co-writers, then you can treat it however you want. And I guess each version is a different remix or something. So as long as he's privy to it, you're fine.
All right. So if I do it, I can still register it with ASCAP. Just put his name in there so that it will find him later if he gets registered.
Yeah.
And then I'll do the same thing with the second version of it, since he technically wrote the melody and lyrics. So that's
cool.
All right. That works. Thank you. I've been trying to figure that out for a couple of weeks now, and I haven't been able to get into these on the weekends because I've had stuff going on. But
welcome back.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Mass. I can't hear you. Oh, you're muted.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I'm looking to see if there's any PROs in Canada, and I don't know if anyone is familiar with any of them. Or...
Drake, talk to Drake.
Okay.
Jake, jump
So
in.
can. You want
So can?
So can. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, so can you guys just say about?
About. A boot.
Boot.
I'm a bastard. I'm Australian. I'm allowed to do that. It's great being Australian because you get away with so much. Oh, don't worry, he's Australian. Thank you so much, and here's to the Queen. Did I answer your question? No, Drake did. Julius, you had a question and your fantastic hand went down.
What did you have for breakfast?
I haven't had breakfast. And Machete Rose is a great name for a band, by the way, Rose. In Machete Blood Rose. Yeah, I didn't eat breakfast. I should, though. My diet has gone to crap. It's really funny when you get stressed out, your diet is the first thing to go, but your diet's the first thing that's got to stay, you know? It's got to stay locked and loaded. And same with getting out, being physical. Go for a fucking walk. I can't go for a walk because I'm too stressed out and too busy. It's like, you got to go. Play with the cats 3 times a day. Go for a walk. Eat healthy. And talk to the machete. Machete.
Hey, so
Hey, machete.
bringing it back around to your comment earlier. So I have a remix coming with some dashing stranger, and my idea of splitting the rights for it would be that the remixer should get 50% and the band gets 50%. We split it into whatever we're going to split it into.
Yeah, but
I think that sounds fair. Does that sound fair to you?
Yeah, it sounds fair, but I don't mind because, you know, if it ends up being huge and you buy a Porsche, buy me a Vespa. Yeah, don't worry about it. This is my because you've helped me. It's been a great 10 years, and you got me through some fucking doozies. So this is an investment. This is an investment into your value. I love you too, mate. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's an investment. But and I think that it's important that in future this sort of dialogue happens, that we say to people, okay, do you want to split of this? I mean, because, you know, the thing about it is that really you're going to make a few dollars. Like but you never know, it might go somewhere. But yeah, for this one, don't worry. It's
right. Well, I'm determined to make it go somewhere.
Right. I want my Vespa.
Be ready. Be ready for that Vespa.
Just make it red.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Does anybody else have anything amazing, or should we kill this? Aluminum. Fuck you, Adam. Why isn't he here today? Aluminium. Adam just told me to say aluminum. In the chats. Yeah, there you go. Does anybody else have anything they want to throw in? Or should we call this? Yeah, anyone? Well, what I'm going to do, the last thing I'm going to do before we stream to the illustrious MTV TV is I'm going to say that's the link to the document that we have been working on today. Go grab it now. And you change it as per you want. And I'll also just do one really quick last minute plug. Angelspit's new fucking album. I'm really happy with this beast. People seem to be happy with this beast. Go download it. And if you're a Patreon member, remember that you've got a free copy. So fucking go get it. And there it is. And I'm very happy with it. Let's go to MTV TV, and we're going to hang around for a few minutes and talk on the Zoom, some bits, some more too. Next Sunday, Art of Rock, it's here. We're going to talk about it again. And right now, we are going to MTV TV because they are bloody amazing. We're going here now. Woo! Thank you for buying the album, Myriad 15. See you next week. Rock.